Hi, everyone. I'm so excited to invite you to Shepard's Soulstream channeling. And I want to use this time to give you a bit of a background so we could dive right in when we're all together. For today's agenda, we are going to just do a bit of housekeeping to set the container. Our time together will start with an opening activation, which will be a channeled guided meditation to attune and settle the energetic field. This is a great way for your energy just to settle into the space, for my energy to start to meet yours. And this is the way I always start sessions to activate the channeling portal. From there, we'll open into collective channeling. So these are messages for the entire group. From there, I've developed the Shepherd seat one-on-ones. So you can think, take on the hot seat, but much more grounded and rooted and friendly. And we're all here to learn from each other. So this is where each of you will come on one-on-one. Sometimes I'll be guided to jump to a particular person, or Dina may prompt you in the chat to say it's your turn. And this will be the focus time for you to ask your question directly. I just ask that you ask one main question. If there's like a part two to it and we have space, just let's let that first part of the question be answered, and then we can bridge to the second part if there's time. Each person will have their time, and if anyone's here together in groups or in pairs or as a couple, if you'd like, you can use this time together, or you can each use this time for your own one-on-one direct channeling questions. And just know, each person may ask a specific question, but we've found that the answers are both very, very specific and also can apply to the entire group. So really just pay attention to the energy that's moving and coming through for each person, and just be respectful when it is their turn. And then we'll close in a guided meditation, and I'll just share some basic energetic hygiene for you to continue to ground and bring this into your daily life or business after our group session together. So, a little bit more about myself and Shepard. Shepard exists to bridge business strategy with my gift of spiritual channeling to help leaders move from confusion to certainty. You'll find that the messages come through are very specific, and sometimes you'll even leave with homework from spirit. Myself, Emily Levy, if you haven't met me already, I founded Shepard last year after really doing this work nights and weekends and not listening to the things I learned in business school, and very much was keeping myself in the shadows and the underground. But last year, and especially in 2026, I am coming into the light with you all and sharing my gifts as an award-winning founder and public speaker, and bringing forth my gift as a spirit communicator to really be the bridge between these two worlds. My dear friend Dina is the founder of the Rewilding Collective, and she is producing our event today. And you'll notice her in the chat helping to ground the container and also just really keep things moving on a tech side. And fun fact about Dina, we met 10 years ago, and she was a corporate VC turned spirit-led entrepreneur. So we're so grateful to have Dina with us here today. The way I like to think about bringing spirit and spirituality into business is that spirit is the fourth bottom line. So we are bringing consciousness into business. We are bringing our own spirits. We are bringing intuition. We all have groups, guides, angels, healed and well loved ones on the other side who are here to support us. So really, this is not performance or fortune telling. We get very grounded, very rooted, and we are here to support you. And my job is to act as a translator, a telephone operator, if you will, and tuning to that radio frequency that spirit comes through and helps us to play and have fun and be supported. So a lot of my clients feel like they leave sessions with me feeling like they've had a group meeting with their higher selves, a board meeting with their higher selves. So excited to hold that space for all of you today. So getting more into how it works, the best analogy really is thinking of me as a telephone operator for spirit. And this is exactly how they showed it to me. They were like, pick up the line. All you have to do is pick up the phone and we're here. So what happens on a very physical level is when we enter into that guided channeled meditation, I am adjusting my frequency up Spirits is lowering down theirs, and we meet in the middle. And this is really that stream, that soul stream that I sense and feel when I'm channeling for myself and for clients. And my job is really just to be a translator. So, of course, I will always tell you when things are coming directly from spirit or from a particular loved one or energy that is stepping forward. But my job is really reading energy. So you can tell other people, Emily, she reads energy for a living. That's exactly what's happening. And just the output, I'm translating the information. Sometimes I'll see an image, sometimes it will be a feeling, a sensation, it will be a quick movie that is shown to me. And I just always ask my human self to take a seat in the other room, and I am just fully dialed in, fully tapped into being that telephone operator for you in loving service, both to spirit and to you and to myself. So, the most common ways that spirit will speak to me, and everyone who is a channeler or clairvoyant or medium does this a little bit differently, but just to dial into how you'll most likely experience our time together, is first is direct. I will literally hear verbatim words or phrases and very specific guidance. So, whenever that happens, I'll just get very quiet and I'll repeat to you word by word, and sometimes I'll even say it twice to me. And this is often the most clear that things will come through. And happens the majority of the time. Second is literal. So sometimes they will show objects for evidence. So, for example, I was channeling for a client and her grandfather came through and he was showing me a gold watch and putting it on her directly. And then my client was like, oh my gosh, he gave watches to all of his grandchildren before he passed away. So, oftentimes objects will come through just as a validation. And sometimes, even in the last group we had, my body started moving physically like a clock. So, this other client was like, oh, that's my grandfathers and clocks or something there. And then symbolic, oftentimes a metaphor that will just inquire some interpretation from us together. So, for example, I had a client that I was channeling for, and I was seeing columns of light coming from hands of a man. And she clarified for me that this man worked in lighting. So, those are the three ways that we'll most often experience spirit coming through, but just know it can come in many other ways. And sometimes I also feel things very physically in my body, especially if someone is holding a lot. This can be in the client or even in the loved one who has passed away if we are getting into mediumship. But most important, I tell you what I'm seeing, sensing, feeling, but it's really for you to hold the meaning. And I so believe you have sovereignty, you have agency. It is up to you to go back into your daily life to decide how this information is here to help and support you. And of course, if nothing lands, or it's not that nothing will land, if something specific doesn't land for you, just leave it at the door and take what really moved you and shifted you and wants to be integrated into your life. So just lastly, getting into agreements and discernment, things that are so important is just you have your own sovereignty. You are the leader of your life. Take what resonates and leave the rest, as I just said. Because we are in a group setting, whatever is shared here, please just have it stay here. We will be using an AI note taker and video recording, as a lot of people like to come back, but please do not share with this to anyone. Please do not post it. And if you just have questions, just check in with me. As we just talked about with the group field, even if it's not your turn, listen, have an open heart, and answers often apply to the entire collective. And my big thing is we are not reading energy for folks who are not in the room. So that's just a big thing with consent. So lastly, with the Shepard seat protocol, just be ready, have your question on, please come on camera, and the clearer your question, the clearer the answer. So please stay involved. Dina will share this slide again at the end. This is a group invitation, and we invite you to go deeper in a one-on-one session. Please tell your friends, and we'll be doing some awesome retreats later this year.